Hey, it's me, Emily. I'm sitting here staring into the void of my phone camera, about to spill my soul. This isn't easy. My hands are shaking, my heart's racing, and I feel like I'm about to crack open a wound that's still raw. But I need to get this out. Every ugly, heartbreaking detail of how my world fell apart. So here goes. This is my story of betrayal, of love shattered, of finding out the man I gave my everything to was living a lie. Buckle up because it's a lot. It was a Tuesday afternoon, and I was driving to the Rusty Anchor, this little dive bar on the edge of town. My husband Jake had texted me to meet him there at 3 p.m. sharp. 11 years of marriage, 13 years together, and something about that text made my stomach twist. The Rusty Anchor wasn't exactly a hot spot for date nights. It's where we met all those years ago, sure, but it's quiet in the afternoons, almost ghostly. I knew this wasn't about grabbing a beer and reminiscing. My gut was screaming that something was wrong, and I'd been ignoring that feeling for months. See, I'd noticed things. Jake had been distant. He's an electrical engineer, runs his own company, Steinbeck Solutions, designing wiring systems for big construction projects. Work always kept him busy, but lately it was more than that. He'd come home late, claiming client meetings or project deadlines. His phone was glued to his hand, and he'd tilt the screen away when I walked by. Our bedroom? Cold. He hadn't touched me in months, not the way he used to. And then there were the new clothes in his closet, tight shirts, designer jeans, stuff he never wore for me. I'm not stupid. I knew something was off, but I didn't want to believe it. I mean, who wants to think the person they love, the father of their kids, is cheating? Our kids, Max and Megan, are 10 and 8. They're my world, but Jake? He'd been pulling away from them too. Dinners used to be our thing, laughing, talking, planning weekend adventures. But lately it was just me and the kids at the table, eating takeout while Jake strolled in late with some half-baked excuse and maybe a pint of ice cream from the grocery store. It hurt, but what killed me was how he was neglecting Max and Megan. That wasn't the man I married. That wasn't the Jake I fell for at the Rusty Anchor all those years ago when he spilled his beer on me and laughed it off with that goofy Bridgerton smile. So yeah, I was nervous pulling into the bar's parking lot that Tuesday. I sat in my car for a minute, gripping the steering wheel, my dad's voice echoing in my head. He passed away a few years back, but his advice always stuck with me. Stay calm, Em. Don't show your cards until you're sure of your play. I took a deep breath, thanked him silently, and walked inside. The bar was dim, the air thick with stale beer and regret. Jake was already there, sitting at the bar with a woman I didn't recognize. My heart dropped. She was polished, sharp, red lipstick, tight dress, the kind of confidence that screams trouble. Jake turned, saw me, and said, "Hey, Emily. No honey, no kiss, just my name, flat and cold." I slid onto a stool, my voice tight. "What's going on?" The woman spun around, her eyes locking onto mine. "Mrs. Steinbeck, I'm Lauren. Jake and we've been together for a while." Her voice was steady, like she was reading a script. "We're tired of hiding it. Jake's been unhappy, and we thought you deserved the truth." I froze. The world tilted, and I swear I could hear my heartbeat over the jukebox. Jake just sat there, staring at his beer like it held all the answers. I waited for him to deny it, to say something, anything, but he didn't. My chest burned, but I remembered Dad's advice: stay calm, don't break. So I said nothing, just stared at them, letting the silence choke the air. Jake finally looked up, his face pale. I didn't mean for this to happen. It's just sex. I don't want to leave you. Lauren's different. It's not about love. I swear. I just need this." Need this? I wanted to scream, to throw my glass at him, but I didn't. I slid off the stool, walked to the end of the bar, and ordered a beer. The bartender, Josh, slid it over with a look that said he'd heard everything. I sipped, my hands steady, but my heart shattering. They watched me, confused, like they expected me to fall apart. I wouldn't give them the satisfaction. I finished my drink, left without a word, and drove home. The kids were with my sister, Sarah, and her husband, Dan, for the weekend. Thank God, because I needed to think. I called my lawyer, Henry, a grizzled old shark who'd been with Jake's company forever. I played him the recording from my phone. Yeah, I'd hit record in my pocket the second I saw Lauren. Henry listened, his face grim. "This is gold, Emily. Adultery's a slam dunk in this state. We'll bury them." That night I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying Jake's words. "It's just sex." Like that made it better, like it didn't rip my heart out. I thought about Max and Megan, how they'd look at me when I told them their dad broke us. I cried until my throat ached, but by morning, I was done feeling sorry for myself. I had a plan. Sunday night, I went back to the Rusty Anchor. Josh was there, pouring drinks for a rowdy crowd. I noticed Lauren in the corner, draped over some guy who definitely wasn't Jake. I snapped a few pics with my phone, my hands steady now. Josh leaned over, whispering, "That guy's a player. Seen him with a different woman every week." I nodded, filing it away. Evidence was piling up. Monday morning, I dropped the kids at school and met Henry at his office. He had the divorce papers ready, plus restraining orders to keep Jake and Lauren out of my house. "We're serving them at work," he said, a glint in his eye. "Maximum embarrassment." I nodded, feeling a cold satisfaction. I wanted them to hurt like I was hurting. I was in the hall outside Jake's office when the server arrived. He didn't see me, just marched in and handed Jake the envelope. "You're served, I'm Mr. Steinbeck." Jake's face crumpled as he read the papers. I stepped into the doorway and his eyes met mine, wide with shock. "Emily, why?" he stammered, tears in his eyes. I couldn't resist. "You said I deserved better, Jake. You're right." I turned and walked away, my heart pounding, but my head high. Later, I heard Lauren got served at her office too, collapsing into sobs in front of her boss. Turns out her perfect lover was married with 6 kids, and his wife had no idea. Henry made sure she got all the evidence, texts, photos, the works. Lauren lost everything, her job, her reputation, her side piece's family. A few days later, I met Jake at a coffee shop to tie up loose ends. He begged, tears streaming, saying he loved me, that Lauren was a mistake, that we could work it out. He even had the nerve to suggest I could still be his number one while he kept her on the side. I laughed, a bitter, broken sound. "You think I'd share you? You're delusional." I slid the photos of Lauren with her other guy across the table. "Check the dates, Jake. Saturday night. While you were planning your big confession, she was playing you too." His face went white. I stood, tossed a 20 on the table, and left him staring at the pictures. I didn't look back. The kids are with me now. Telling them was the hardest thing I've ever done. Megan cried, Max got quiet, but they're strong. We're staying with Sarah and Dan while I sort out the house. Jake's name is off everything. Henry made sure of that. I got full custody, the house, and enough alimony to keep us comfortable. Jake's still begging, but I'm done. Lauren's out of the picture, and I hear her life's a mess. Good, I'm not okay yet. Some nights I still cry myself to sleep, wondering how I missed the signs, how I trusted him, but I'm rebuilding. Max and Megan keep me grounded, and Sarah's my rock. I'm learning to trust myself again, to believe I'm enough. This betrayal broke me, but it won't define me. I'm Emily, and I'm taking my life back, one raw, messy step at a time. Thanks for listening. I needed to get this out. If you've been through this, know you're not alone. Keep fighting. We'll get through it.